Hello, my name's Susie Johns and this course is called Learn to Draw. In lesson 1 we looked at line drawing, in lesson 2 at negative space, and in the last lesson, lesson 3, we looked at the use of sketchbooks. Now I want to show you how to hold a pencil. A pencil is a very familiar object to most of us and easy to use. There are various different ways you can hold a pencil, and each of these ways allows you to make different kinds of marks on the paper. Let's look at the most perhaps obvious way of holding a pencil, and that's as you'd hold it when you were writing. It gives you plenty of control, but this way of holding the pencil is a bit cramped and restrictive. It restricts the drawing arc, the amount of movement that you can make. If you hold it a little bit further up, it gives you a bit more freedom, and further up again, especially if you relax your fingers a little bit, you can use your little finger to maybe support your hand. And then try turning your hand a little and see how much more freedom that gives you, that freedom of movement. Again, you can support your hand with your little finger on the paper if you wish. And now try turning your hand so that all 4 fingers are on top of the pencil. This sort of overhand grip means you can apply more pressure when you want to, and it also alters the position of the pencil lead so that it's more parallel to the paper, which is great for shading. Now if you try putting the end of the pencil in the palm of your hand, and now you can move the pencil in wider sweeps, and the side of the lead makes broader strokes than the tip of the pencil. And this works quite well if you've got a short pencil as well. You can try both. Try a full length pencil and a shorter pencil. The other thing that is quite fun to do and sort of takes you out of your comfort zone is to hold the pencil in your non-dominant hand. In this case it's my left hand, and that can make some extraordinary marks because you have much less control over the pencil. An important consideration when deciding how you're going to hold your pencil is to remember that when it's quite upright, only the tip is in contact with the paper, but the shallower the angle, the more parallel the lead is to the paper, the broader the mark will be. Pencils are available in various grades and forms. In lesson 1 we looked briefly at a few different types, but let's have a more in-depth look at the types of pencils that you might want to use. These are traditional pencils encased in wood, and pencil leads, the graphite inside the pencil, is available from hard to soft. H, the letter H, indicates that a pencil is hard, and they start at 9H, but I'm starting here with a 4H, which is about as hard as I think you'll need when you're drawing. It gives a very grey, very hard line. This is 2H, which is slightly less hard, but still a very hard pencil. So H indicates hardness of a pencil, and B, the letter B, indicates a soft pencil. So halfway between the two, you have an HB, which is perhaps the pencil that you're most familiar with. So the soft grade of pencils, the B pencils, start with B. This one seems to have broken. I usually use a scalpel to sharpen, so I get a nice sharp lead. So the B pencil, you can see, is starting to look a little bit softer than the H pencils. And as you go up in number, the higher the number, the softer the pencil. So that's 2B, 3B is slightly softer than 2B. It does depend though on the manufacturer. I've got a range of different pencils here, and one manufacturer's 3B might be not as soft as another. So we've got 4B, 5B and so on. It goes up to 9B. I've only got here up to 8B in my pencil tin, but you can still see the difference in blackness as the numbers increase. One pencil I've got here that doesn't fit in with the H's for hard and the B's for soft is an F pencil. And F stands for fine. It fits somewhere between an H and an HB, but it's supposed to keep its point for longer. When you have a range of pencils like this, you might notice that the softer pencils particularly wear down more quickly than the harder ones. And sometimes it's quite awkward to use a stumpy pencil, a short stumpy pencil. You can buy these pencil extenders. The pencil just fits inside the extender, and you can then make a short pencil into a slightly longer one, which a lot of people would find easier to use. By the way, the number, the grade of pencil, is usually written somewhere on the pencil. If you have a pencil that doesn't have a number, it's usually safe to assume that it's an HB. So we've looked at wooden pencils, but pencils are available in other forms. In lesson 1 of the course, we did look briefly at the different types of pencil. Just want to recap on that. In this tin I have graphite sticks. They come in the same grades as the wooden pencils, from hard to soft. You can see here in these long, fairly thin sticks that I've got an HB, a 2B and a 4B, for example. And then in the thicker, chunkier sticks, there's a 6B and a 9B. And you can see how broad and soft the marks are and how black they are. And then there's this very useful rectangular shape. This is a 4B. And if you use the corner, you get a thin mark, and the two edges give you broader marks. And this set of square sticks I thought were going to be quite useful, but I don't find them very useful to use because the grades aren't marked very clearly on the sticks. So on to mechanical pencils, which a lot of people really like, because no matter how much you use up the lead in the pencil itself stays the same size and shape and weight. These two are very cheap, almost disposable sorts from a supermarket with HB leads. While these two I've had for quite a few years. When the lead runs out you replace it, and these two are 6B leads, and they're really nice to hold and nice to use, and these are the replacement leads. To advance the lead you press the button at the end of the pencil and the lead comes forward. So this is called a propelling pencil. This one is also a propelling pencil, but it has a much thicker 2mm thick lead, and it's a shorter shape, which some people like. While this one has a twist action, it also has a very fat lead, but you twist the end of the pencil and the lead is pushed forward. I've been referring to the inside of the pencil as a pencil lead. It's actually made from a mixture of graphite and clay, and the greater the proportion of graphite, the softer and blacker the lead. So it's time to try out the different types of pencils and the different ways of holding them. I hope you find this exercise both useful and enjoyable, even quite therapeutic. So take a piece of paper and divide it into squares. The piece I'm using measures 29 centimetres, and I've divided it into 4.5 centimetre sections, but you might want to use a different sized piece. You will also need some pencils, both hard and soft. The aim of the exercise is to fill each of the squares with different marks, using different grades of pencil and different ways of holding the pencil, as I will now demonstrate. completed the grid, you will have created a range of interesting marks that will be useful for future drawings. So why not choose some of the most interesting ones and recreate them in your sketchbook? So I hope you've enjoyed looking at all the different ways you can hold your pencil and the different marks you can make, and that you'll continue to practice and experiment with these mark making techniques. And join me next time for lesson 5 in the Learn to Draw series, which is all about blind contour drawing. Thank you.